Bienvenidos a esta transmisión especial. Mi nombre es Oswaldo Rodríguez y el día de hoy quiero compartirles con ustedes una entrevista muy especial. Tenemos invitados internacionales desde Jamaica. Quiero darle la bienvenida a los integrantes de Inner Circle que nos están acompañando aquí en la cabina de Alternativa. Welcome to Mexico, guys. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
En los controles técnicos, Chavita Estrada, también Gaby Santoyo y el buen Salvador Lozoya nos están acompañando. Y bueno, pues el día de hoy vamos a tener una charla aprovechando la presencia de Inner Circle en México. What do you think about Mexican people?
Well, we've been here before. We've been not this city, but we've been in Mexico before, and it has always been very well received.
Do you like Mexico?
Of course.
Mexico.
we don't like Mexico. As it says, we love Mexico.
You love Mexico.
Yeah.
Vamos a adentrarnos un poquito a la historia de Inner Circle. You're also known as Bad Boys of Reggae. Ellos son conocidos también como los chicos malos del reggae, the Bad Boys of Reggae. Why?
I guess it comes from the song Bad Boys. You know, it kind of took on a life of its own. You know, occasionally, every once in a while, a song becomes maybe even bigger than the group, you know, and that's what Bad Boys is to us. You know, it's about a real situation, as we said, speaking about bad boys in general, you know, about life. And it has grown to mean so much more to so many people, you know, and not only that, but again, it's also the longest running theme song for a television show in the United States.
Inner Circle es una banda que tiene un papel importante en la historia mundial del reggae. A lo largo de tantos años de carrera, ellos han compartido con nosotros, nos han otorgado temas como Games People Play, Sweat, Bad Boys, como lo comentábamos en este momento. Me gustaría que nos compartieran en esta transmisión especial de Facebook para Reggae Vibes cómo fueron los inicios de Inner Circle.
A friend of mine said we all started out crying. You know, that was a great philosopher, Mr. Robert Marley. You know, said we all started out crying. So, in a way, Inner Circle started as a group in high school. That's where the band started. It started as a fun-loving thing among friends. The Lewis brothers and some of their friends got together in high school and started a band just for the love of music. And that's where it started. Now it has taken on its own life and its own complexities and became the Inner Circle family.
How many challenges have you faced in a little more than 50 years of career?
A lot. Our biggest challenge actually happened in 1980.
Mm-hmm.
That was with Jacob Miller. But even before that, to go back, the band started in 68 in high school, as I said before. And in 73, there was a kind of I wouldn't say a disagreement, but some people wanted to do something else. And so half of the group went one way and half went that way. Inner Circle remained and the other half became a group called Third World.
Mm-hmm.
So basically Inner Circle gave birth to Third World. That was bad, but that was not so bad. It was just a matter of people wanting to do different things, and to me it has worked out very good, because whereas Inner Circle walked a path more along the roots of the music, Third World took a more R&B flavored path. So it was two different directions. You know what I mean? And so that was pretty good. That was one challenge. Now in 73, after that period, Jacob Miller came in. Jacob came in around 74 actually. That's when Jacob came in. I came in around 75.
¿Qué artistas han influido en ustedes como músicos?
In the 70s, with the Jacob Miller years, we reached a peak of where Jamaican music could go in Jamaica at the time, and we had gone on to start touring the world, mainly Europe, in the US, some of the US, and we had just started touring with groups like Ian Jury, Alvin Lee, and 10 Years After, Cheap Trick, and we just start getting that exposure in the rock circuit, which also leads into the question that you're asking right now about influences. Because coming out of Jamaica, we were influenced originally by Stevie Wonder, Sly and the Family Stone, yes, from the 60s coming up. But now going out there and Santana, now going out there and playing with some of these people, it was another confluence of influences coming in, because we were now on the world stage playing with these people in the 70s with Jacob Miller. So that was it took Bob Marley 7 years to build in Europe, and after the record company found the formula with Bob Marley, they took 7 months to bring Inner Circle to the same level, to the same plateau, and then tragedy happened.
¿Cuáles son las diferencias que encuentran entre el reggae actual y el de los años 60? What are the differences between reggae from today and the one from the 60s, from the 70s?
Well, for me personally, I think it was a lot more creative. In 1962, we got independence from Britain. Yeah. And we had a happy move. Everybody was very happy to be independent, be free, a free country, free of Britain, no masters from Britain telling us what to do. So the music was very upbeat, So we had ska. Yeah. It was called ska then, as the black and white thing, like as a special, what the specials play. So it was a very upbeat situation. But after the initial euphoria of that wore off, and we had to realize that, wait, independence may be one thing, but how are we going to support ourselves? How are we going to build our nation? Everybody, the music became a little bit more somber, so it went from 140 beats per minute down to like 60 beats per minute. It became a little bit more like, we call that rock steady. Yeah. That was between the 60, 70 beats per minute. It was very creative at the time. Now, come 1972, we changed government and we got a socialist government, a social democratic government, one of the first in the world as far as I am concerned. The first social democratic government in the world in Jamaica, 1972. Now, the United States, of course, didn't like that. They don't like anything named social. As you can see even today, they don't. Yeah. You say social and they get So, of course, they squeeze us. Our tourism dried up. We didn't have the foreign currency to buy goods or any raw materials. And the only thing that we really had was our music. Michael Manley, the Prime Minister then, says to all the promoters who are bringing down the foreign artists, you got to stop doing that, because we cannot spend money to pay these people when we don't have that kind of foreign currency. And what it did was it forced the Jamaican community, the community of musicians in Jamaica, to get better at their craft and do so much more. And that's when reggae really exploded in the 70s, because we were selling our culture. We got so good at it that we started exporting our culture. Yeah. So that's what happened then. It was very creative, a very creative period. Everybody went in and did what they could to come. Bob was one of the first that Island Records took out there in the 70s. So Jimmy Cliff was actually before him, because Jimmy started in like the late 60s, and so forth. So once Bob was established, Chris said, wait, Inner Circle, good. Third World, good. Burning Spear, and that's how it came about. So more groups start touring internationally, and that was a thing for us.
Inner Circle está en constante renovación y aparte de esta forma de reinventarse a sí mismos, de tener participaciones con otros artistas como pues de las nuevas generaciones, por ejemplo con Chronix, con canciones como Tenement Yard. ¿Cuál ha sido su experiencia al trabajar con estas generaciones más recientes? What is your experience working with new generations of musicians?
Well, the new generation is very, I like the new guys in the past 10 years really. The Chronics, the Protege, Jesse Royal, these guys. I really like what they're doing because they're very positive. You know, they could have gone in the same dancehall genre because they know that very well.
Yeah.
That's their thing. They can do that, but they chose not to. They chose to go back to the roots and do something more cultural. And I appreciate them doing that because that is what the world really wants to hear. Not saying anything is wrong with the dancehall genre. It has its own vibe, its own place, and its own eras. You know what I mean? Beaneman, Buju Banton, you know, these guys are the king of that, king of the dancehall.
Reggae was built with a message.
Yeah.
So when young people go back to that, it gives reggae a rebirth.
And not only that, but the funny thing that we have seen recently is that there are a lot of foreigners or non-Jamaican groups playing reggae, and they choose to play the reggae from the 70s. That's the type of reggae that they choose to play.
In my opinion, I think that comes from just growing up in a household. Just playing in a circle, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's come to their time to play music, we're going back to what influenced them and what they heard in the house. So I think that's where that search come from. And they're playing it authentic, trust me.
And they play roots.
Yes, yeah, and really good at it.
Yeah,
You're talking bands in New Zealand, France, Germany, and they're real. You're proud of them. It make you proud.
If you're just listening to the music, don't look at who's on stage playing.
You swear you're from Jamaica.
You think you're in Jamaica.
Yeah.
What do you think about this internationalization of reggae music, and it is played all over the world?
Well, the good thing about that is that, you know, everybody, there's a time when people like to, we use the term pigeonhole, to put the music in a little slot, you know what I mean? It's no longer in a slot, it's popular music because the populace of the world loves it.
If you're real and you're true to yourself, take a listen to pop music. There's reggae influence everywhere.
Since the time of the Beatles was influenced by reggae music.
Yeah.
Think of Obladi.
Obladi.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Police.
The Police.
The biggest reggae band ever. Nobody called it reggae.
El reggae en esta internacionalización que ha tenido, ha incluso llegado a otros idiomas. En América Latina ha tenido un crecimiento importante en los últimos años. What do you think about Latin American reggae?
I know some guys from Chile. I can't remember the name of the band. I don't know the guys I'm talking
Maybe
about.
Gondwana?
Say that again?
Gondwana?
I think so.
Yeah.
But they're very good.
Yeah,
they're very good.
I just saw them.
There are a couple guys from down there. There's some guys in Brazil also.
Yeah.
Very excellent. You know, they play very good music.
Cidade Negra.
Yeah, another one of them.
From Brazil. Have you ever made songs between Latin American groups and?
Yeah.
Yes,
Negra.
we have. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a track with them.
Cidade
And
Negra.
a couple other artists.
We even get as close as reggaeton.
Yep.
Yeah.
with a couple
I
of
knew
those
about
guys
that.
too. Yeah.
How do you
we're-
feel about that subject?
you know.
The
Well,
kid was born out of reggae music.
Yeah.
You can't feel nothing but proud.
Listen. We all can dance to the beat. That's the main thing. And if the message is good,
Exactly.
it's even better.
Mucha gente que escucha reggae quiere como separarse. Many people who listens reggae music doesn't want to get involved with reggaeton, you know. They went, no, it's not reggaeton, it's reggae music.
Right, yeah, but there are similarities, you know. It's the same thing as people say hip hop. If you really know the history of hip hop and where it started, there's two set of people. The Jamaican DJs, or toasters as we used to call them back in the 60s, and then there's a group out of I think they're from Oakland, California, the Lost Poets. Those are the original guys that helped to create hip hop. Now, with the migration patterns of Jamaican moving into New York, the Brooklyn, Bronx area, and that's where you get that amalgamation of minds meeting. They're listening to our DJs doing their thing, and they start doing the same thing on.
And they're taking the beat.
Yeah, and that's how hip hop came about.
Yeah, hip hop is just American influence version, so to speak, of what we used to do in Jamaica. A Jamaican who migrated to New York, instead of using reggae, he started using R&B and doing the same thing with the rapping over it.
And something that a lot of people don't realize, people like Biggie Smalls, Jarul. I'm not sure if Jarul.
Jarul.
Yeah. These guys are Jamaicans.
Yeah. Biggie was Jamaican.
You know, these guys are Jamaicans. So
if you hear his mom talk, you wouldn't understand.
Yeah, people don't realize it.
Many artists say that Mexican audience is very energetic.
I like it. We played it last time with
Well, the thing about energetic audience, that's inner circles type of audience.
Yeah.
You know, the more energetic, the better. It makes for a better concert, because that's exactly what we're going for. And when the crowd gives it back,
that's exactly what I said. We put out our best and hope that we get back a little bit. If we get back a little bit, we just take it higher.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for being here, guys. Les agradezco mucho a los chicos de Inner Circle que hayan estado en esta transmisión especial de Facebook. Thank you for being here.
De nada.
Yeah, all we're gonna say is, oye chicos males, oye chicos males.
Can you sing us a little of the song just for the goodbye?
Well, the singer isn't here right now, so you know.
Singer's resting.
Yeah, he's resting. We usually just sing background, but you know, it's.
Yeah, we only know that part. We don't know the rest.
No, but in English, the original.
That's another version. We actually did a version in Espanol. Because for the market was so good that we did a version in Espanol. So, you know.
And what about the original?
The original, we always do the original.
You're here tonight.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. Bueno, pues,
even better than the record. Forget about the record. You have to come and see us. We're a live band.
That's
right. What we are. We're a live band.
Eso es todo. De verdad es un gustazo tenerlos aquí, un privilegio, y no estoy exagerando, es un privilegio. It's a very privilege. I'm very honored to have you here in Aguascalientes, in Mexico, and in 98.1. Thank you very much.
De nada.
Beautiful. Thank you.